All right, welcome to the commentary. Here it comes. Aha! The first song on the album.
Good enough. The thing that I remember most about this, pre-chorus was outside of a club in Ljubljana, Slovenia. And it just was one of those cool moments that, kind of typing it around, and it was like, it felt good, man. I showed it to Chris and I showed it to Raj. Just, it felt right at that time,
This is like one of the first songs we wrote for the record, I think, right?
That's Roger talking. It was Vinny talking before. I'm Chris talking.
This is Buddy talking. Good job. It was early on. I remember actually originally this song, Chris came in with just the verse part of it, where it was the who's to say, all that stuff, but it was really slow, and we were calling it like Vinny was calling it like I remember you were like, it's like the Police song or whatever.
Yeah, it was a slower jam that evolved into
Yeah, we turned it into this.
to what you're hearing now.
This song reminds me of Lion City. It's like the Lion City of this record.
Yeah. Lion City is on GNVFLA for those of you that have not purchased that yet or downloaded it for free.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that from where it started out to where it is right now, like, it went through such a, like, not only tempo-wise, but just, like, energy-wise. There's an energy to it. And when the chorus is coming in right now, man, it's just like, for me, this is what classic Less Than Jake, now the classic Less Than Jake, what it sounds like. It's what I hear in my head when I think of our own band, and I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, this one's not too far off the beaten path. It's pretty much, it's like in the ballpark of what we usually kind of do song-wise.
When did we start? Was this one of the first ones that we recorded as well?
That I don't know. I'm not sure.
Like,
It was definitely early in the list.
yeah,
sure.
for people who are just listening to it as well, Raj had produced the record and actually recorded at Moat House, the studio, and we're actually recording the commentary right now on it, which is a cool thing for the record to be sort of internal, not only sit around and collectively write, but then kind of collectively come together in a studio environment and then produce something. It's much, for me anyway, I think that there's inevitably more energy and more excitement about the music when it's sort of siphoned through and filtered through our own filter and not anyone else's.
Yeah, this is one of the more obvious ones to open the record with. It has everything that we do. Lots of vocals, lots of horns, clean guitar, dirty guitars,
Both of you guys singing.
dirty drums.
This is the first record that actually starts with a couple of horn notes, I think, too. I don't know. It actually picks up with horns at the very beginning, so that's
Finally
cool.
started it out right.
It was good enough for the first song. Oh.
Zing.
Next.
Song number 2.
Oh.
The Motown Never Sounded So Better of this record.
Motown never sounded so better. Didn't take a lot of English classes, did you?
Isn't that what it is?
Never sounded so good.
Never sounded so better, did it?
I like the song a lot. The song was pretty conceived as one big idea, and then there was like 10 different options for the ending of the song.
Yeah, it wrote itself up until the end, and then it was like, let's go somewhere else. Originally, we were just going to stick with it was going to be another chorus, double chorus out or something, but the ending now, actually, you fought well for that, Raj.
Yeah, I just wanted to, all this is kind of like the happier side of the band or whatever, and then once it gets to that halfway mark, it just sort of gets dark and, kind of goes with the lyrics of, well, you don't really know if you're going to make it on your long shot or not, so it has a mysterious quality to it. I don't know.
On the lyric side of it, man, it's about, generally speaking, about life's a gamble, and life's the toughest gamble, It's like, and there's some people who just sit on the sidelines, and then there's other people who are actually will bet on the longest shot, and there's other people who wait for that to come to them. But if that never happens. I mean, when we're sitting here in a modern day, no one just hands people their opportunity. You have to make the opportunity, yourself and kind of go there. So
Most people are lazy, Vin. You know this.
well, we're just explaining stuff and things, but like for real, I think that the cool thing about this song for me would be how it starts out and kind of like halftime and then kind of builds and has a little bit more aggro to it, and then it builds a little bit more for aggro, sucks back, and then kind of rolls a cycle then, and now we're into like
Pop punk.
Yeah, and it's just
Full
but
energy.
the energy, man, just going out, and by the time we get to that horn, like sort of bridgy thing, and the outro, it
Here's where I get to scream. Here's where I get to scream for 2 seconds.
Roger from The Used.
or I call it the bouncing souls part.
This is one of those songs that was, when you go in to make a record and you're staring at 15 or 16 or 17 ideas or however many there are. Sometimes things take precedence, and this seemed like one of the tunes that was, I personally wasn't really thinking about, and then all of a sudden it just became an animal unto itself. Kind of took on its own life, and I really love the way it came out.
I think this is Fat Mike's favorite song on the record.
Who?
Michael.
Michael.
Fat. Michael Fat.
Michael Fat.
Fatty.
Yeah. I like this outro, though. It's different. We used to do that all the time, like in the old days. The song never came back around to another chorus. It just kind of...
Well, that about that song, too, we'd use the Pezcore move of just hitting the little halftime part to, like, launch. But this right here, man, like...
This is one of my favorite on the record. It reminds me of, like, weirdly, like, a Welcome to the New South where it's, like, big, Like, it's I thought this would be, like, the opener of the record when we were first working on stuff.
Another two-parter too, though. This one starts out in one world, and then you don't even get to the real first chorus until halfway through the song, or at least a minute and a half into it. And then it just never really comes back to this earlier part again. It's another departure type song.
That's the other Bouncing Souls moment on the record. Right there.
What do you believe? Yeah, it's good stuff. True believers.
The payoff for me about this song, dude, is when the chorus hits, man. Like it's the complete payoff.
Yeah, this is all building up to that.
If you're even remotely, in the know about Less Than Jake, I mean, these verses though, this just sounds like us right here. This is kind of one of those, like Roger was saying on the first tune. This is kind of what we do right here. And then it hits that chorus, and it's in its own world again.
Yeah,
it's
let's
cool.
feel it for a minute. Yeah.
Oh, I'm feeling it.
Here we go.
Yeah, halftime chorus. Here we go. Everyone bang your head.
Cool for me, though, is that on this record a lot, there's a mix of, within songs, Chris and Raj. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of, like, hi, Chris take a verse and then Raj take a chorus, or vice versa, and that just adds, something for me to it. Always has. A lot of harmonies, a lot of, like, vibe.
You didn't get any horns until that chorus, too? It's like kind of like Boring Town in that respect, where it's like we're sitting out for half the song, and then we come in.
It's definitely one of the ones that has a lot of the central lyric ideas for the record for me, too. Like, step to the edge, make it happen, take the jump, see the light. It's one of those songs that kind of brought me into, like, what the lyrics about the whole record were sort of about.
There's a trippiness to it where it's, the record, I always hate to, like, try to lead people to the idea, right? But it's like, there's a certain amount of, like, talk on this record about a faith in something, and this is, it's about that jump of can you believe in something? And that is, a real thing, it's like, as much as imaginary jump that it is, but you really do have to make a commitment to have faith in something. It's
it kind of harkens back to Long Shot too, which is the same thing. It's like, are you awake enough to take that, like, that
Absolutely.
chance on something? It's like having faith to take the leap, and also being strong enough to believe in something.
The
enough
horns
to bet on
that
it.
just went through it, the play off of that. I love
The
that.
back and forth. We didn't talk. The horn solo in that song is ripping,
Yeah,
too. I love that
love
horn
it.
solo. Wow.
Cruising through
This
this
record
record.
cruises right through, huh?
Yeah.
Start it over.
Aha.
Another ripper.
It's a fun one. This reminds me like something off of Greetings and Salutations, like a more modern, like Less Than Jake song a little bit.
This was when you brought it in too. This was the very Descendancy riff. The riff is on the bass a lot, which is kind of cool. Could be a guitar riff. Could be a
definitely a little bit busy bass line, a la Carl Alvarez for sure.
it's maybe more all than it is Descendants.
Right here's the chorus, man, for me on the song. Everything else is really cool. Leads up to it. Payoff right now. This is what sold me on the song, and then obviously that boom.
Yeah, the horn, like that was just originally just the guitar part. JR and I were. I feel like JR kind of came up with that mostly. It's a very
Yeah, when we were first listening or demoing this tune, it was just a riff, and I remember when you guys came to the rehearsal space with the horn part, it really added
Yeah, took that part up a notch.
added another layer to the song that was really needed.
And then we get to use it again during the
chords,
bridge.
the chords
which
are
is
cool,
weird.
but the horns are what you're listening to during those A sections.
When Raj first brought this in, I was always imagining it a little bit faster and a little bit more aggro to it, like kind of like heavy, like kind of like cymbal hits and kind of like a little bit more. But how it's kind of pulled back in a little bit, it really turned the song around. This is great.
Yeah, and
This was very
ethereal bridge.
spur of the moment vocal part here. It's like, oh, that could be cool. Record it, and then it stayed.
Just the breath of fresh air with the
yeah,
horn
exactly
thing
before it
and
comes
the-
back in again.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like all these little horn things on here.
dude, I think the horns on this record, man. To be honest with you, it's really stepped up, man. They sound great.
Yeah, on so many records we kind of got kind of turned to the left on what the horn sound was supposed to be, and I feel like this one's. They sound like real horns. It doesn't sound processy. It doesn't sound, over chorused or anything. I'm really stoked on the horns on this record overall.
One of the first times that, and since I think Losing Streak, that the horns, the sax is kind of leads the way, and the trombone sort of fills it out and behind the sax. Like, on the Losing Streak was like that. And this song though,
Finally, we get to a little reggae.
yeah.
Slow it down, man.
Oh, by the way,
This is
the
track 420
percussion
on
on
the
this record was done by Jared from Morning Fatty. We forgot to thank him on the record. Sorry, Jared.
Yeah, now you're getting thanked now.
Getting
so
thanked now, dude.
You're stoked.
He's playing that tambourine and those shakers you hear right now.
I'd rather be thanked here than I would on the record. The record was tight.
Thanks to Vinny for playing drums on the record.
Hey, thank you very much, Vinny.
Yeah,
You roll.
this song came together pretty quickly. This was one of the ones that I want to say didn't take. I don't know if you can say a song took more or less effort than the next one, but this one seemed like it just came together really easily.
Verse came together really. It's the chorus that we kind of like sat around the octagon table in our warehouse and kind of bounced around on it and tried to figure out something that kind of trumped what the verse was, because the verse to me was bulletproof when it was you and Buddy and JR, Chris brought it in. I remember me and Raj were listening to it, kind of going like, yeah, it was like, feel it, man. Great. We needed a chorus though to like kind of
Yeah, and then like you
cap
said,
it.
we fiddled that out around. This was still in the acoustic stage when we were just sitting around the table with acoustics. That's something important about this record too, is that we wrote most of the record like that. There were ideas already, and there were a lot of songs that had parts to them, but we really just sat together as a group and worked stuff out, acoustic style and like lyrics.
I
and
feel
tried
like the music in the song is solid, a little reach-ready, but it's the lyrics for the song that are the home run for me. It's a heavy subject, man, when you really break it down, and you mix that with like this happy reggae vibe, and that's another element. That's classic Less Than Jake, like that dichotomy of some pretty heavy, serious lyrics about losing your loved ones and stuff like that. But we're doing it with this.
with a smile on your
with a
face, being
smile.
a weird
Yeah, man.
positivity to it.
There's always light at the end of the tunnel.
And key change. That feels good, doesn't it?
But that was
Uplifting.
It's funny because I talked to a dude who had listened to the record, and he was like, talk about the lyrics, and he was like, "Are you like a sad dude?" And I go, "Well, not really, man, but I overanalyze how I live my life, and I think that this song is very much one of those moments of analyzing, life in
Seamlessly
general.
back to the original key.
The end here, we the nanny boo boo, the lick of the song that's been
Nanny boo boo.
yeah, that's been around. That thing's been around forever, but it makes a re-enter right here at the end. And Raj came up with this part. This reminds me of Blondie. I don't know why.
Yeah, that.
Reminds me of like a Blondie song.
Yeah, that's
that little guitar
stealing
sound.
ideas from Howard Benson. Bring the guitar lick in and change it up in the last chorus. Thanks, Howard.
We're not paying for that either, Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that song. Hopefully we'll be playing that for a long time.
Yeah, I hope so too.
What's next? Anybody know?
Leslie Cracks? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow, this song was we put a lot of time under the hood on this song.
Yeah.
This is our 80s reverb right here on these drums.
Yeah.
This song reminds me of
It went too far.
when it
Some
goes
point
when it
we
goes
did
double time in the verse. The inspiration for me and when I was coming up with the verse parts was Snuff and Guns and Wankers. Those two bands. It's what the double time.
Wait, isn't
part
that the same
reminds me.
band?
Pretty much. Right here.
Yeah, it's got that B3 organ in there ringing out a little bit. It's pretty cool. Yeah, this song is something else. It's got a lot of different parts.
And again, I like the lyrics of this one. The lyrics are dark, but they're in a way I don't know. There's like a positive spin on it. You know.
I had that the chorus lyric that was over next to it in the warehouse next to ours, like, and I just remember taking it in, and then once it started to kind of form, chorus to me was the only part of the lyric that had been around forever, and then like it was getting the lyrics for the verse to match the chorus, man.
Yeah, because that fit in there so well, and it was like we had all the melody for those verses, but it took a while to jam some lyrics in there for sure. Can't jelly them in.
No. Nice. You know what? You know, as we're listening to this, for me, this record's a record of choruses, like really strong, like super strong choruses that, you know, kind of ingest it quick. In fact, right here, the bridge, great.
It's kind of the first song so far that has kind of like a real bridge, and it comes back to a chorus. Like, a lot of the arrangements weren't this kind of traditional on this time around. A little tasty halftime. Yeah, I just love the beginning when it's the less than enormous floor tom thing.
Yeah. There was, like I said earlier, there was a point when we were mixing that it went over the head. We're like, make it, you know, really 80s reverby or whatever. And the first mix of that came back was like ridiculous.
I still maintain, you know, I don't know if this record's going to change anybody's opinion on the band that does not like us, but man, if you're a fan of the band, you're gonna definitely love the record, and I think we're gonna make some new fans with it. You know, we've broached some new territory. And at the end here, I love where it comes back in, of course, with the big tom parts.
The little 80s lick.
And it's cool because the guitar's just going.
Yeah.
For the first time, there's no bass, and then all of a sudden the bass comes in here. It's just awesome.
That was awesome.
Monster bass tone.
Fade out.
Yeah, the only fade out of the record,
See, if
right?
you were smart enough to get this on vinyl, then this would be the end of the first side.
It would?
It fades out, right? Doesn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. That's why we faded this out. This is the...
Yeah, you get up,
Fade to side
you get
B.
a drink, you roll yourself a cigarette of your choice, maybe take a piss break, come back, flip the record over, and then you would hear the next song that's coming up, which is the start of side 2 of the record.
The B-side.
That you won't get that experience through MP3s or CDs.
Yeah.
Song was conceived by our sax player JR.
John the Baptist
Conveniently
Bones.
Started out very
Very Disney.
yeah, very Disney and very light, and
We reeled in.
yeah, he wasn't around when we actually kind of gridded it up and
we
kind of
really-
like pushed and pulled it. And I know I asked him afterwards. I go, dude, like, were you bummed when you first heard where it was going? He was like, well, it was definitely surprising. Like,
It's still pretty... It retains a lot of that Harry Belafonte-ish stuff from the first...
Yeah, man.
Again, though, man, that's
still
the
very happy
lyric,
song.
and maybe it's just the way I'm taking it, but when you read the lyrics, it's like it's almost morbid, you know, John the Baptist Bones, but yet it's this again uplifting song, especially the horn part. I mean, it's like a party when that comes on.
Yeah, that's what I keep calling the song, too. This is like our party song for this record. This was definitely
for me.
the breakdown coming up here in a minute.
Price of admission is I always bite the hand that helps me up.
Yeah.
Just
It's taking this, again, super happy song and then making it...
it's super happy, man. But this is one of the songs that I think when we play it live, it's just gonna be barn burner, man.
Yeah, and I've had a couple people that have got the record because it's not out yet, but the interviewers I've done, they center in on this song. I've had a number of people talk about this song in particular.
I think it's because of this whole breakdowny thing that we haven't really done too much of this in the history of the band, but we like to dabble with this stuff.
Yeah, just good vibe, man.
I wanted just the sound of chickens like chirping in this part, like you felt like you're on the farm in Jamaica. Here's a little trombone solo for you band geeks out there.
That's right. It's actually a duet. JR's backing me up in there.
Yeah.
This song is another song that has some tasty organ parts. That was, I think, really helped kind of give the vibe to the song. Some of the little organ ditties in the verse and stuff.
That's weird. Mixing this part, this part somehow goes with that other part. I don't know how we do that. It goes from, like I said, like the Disney Harry Belafonte thing to that, driving distorted guitar stuff. How we make those transitions.
Those hand
somehow.
claps. The
Castanets.
castanets.
That
in
was
there.
the percussion by Roger Lima.
Yeah, I did do that percussion. Yeah, a little castanet action. I
We
think
will
that song
not
has
thank
the
Jared
most
for that one.
percussion.
This song's a play on words. It's called American Idol, IDLE.
This is I think the only song that has acoustic guitars overdubbed onto it. During this section, there's acoustics following that riff there. Pretty cool.
So you did your tone right experiment to this song too. If you don't know what tone right is, look that up.
This song, it's got that, I don't know. Lyrically, it comes from a Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty, Mellencamp place. Like it has a very Americana lyric to me. I don't know. It really resonates. People I played this song for really zone in on the lyrics.
This is one of those songs where if you just think Less and Jake is a ska band, then you haven't heard the songs that we do like this.
Yeah.
Just like this is a pretty much a straight up rock song.
Oh no, it's still a ska song because there's horns going on right now. That happens
yeah.
all the time too.
weird.
People have called Coffee Project a ska band. Like, oh, acoustic ska.
Nice plug, though, dude.
Who's not it?
People have called Rehasher a ska band. Oh wait,
Oh,
no.
yeah, nice
Yeah.
plug.
People call every band on Paper and Plastic a ska band.
And as soon as they hear horns,
great
you're a ska
plug.
band. Michael Jackson's a ska band.
You know what? The chorus on this song, though, like, it took a long time. It like 3 rooms over from the room to recording
Yeah.
in. That the chorus lyric was a lot to go in, man.
Well, there was a
lot.
time we didn't have a chorus, and we weren't going to put one in this song, and thank God we did, because to me, the chorus just,
Oh yeah.
it lifts this
We
tune.
had several ideas for choruses for this song, and the one that we ended up using, I remember clearly. It was early in the morning, and I was playing guitar, and I was like, it could go to this chord. And then it just kind of spurred the melody there. And we're even letting you know, this is the part you got to
It's the
sing.
lead
Repeat
in
it.
getting into the chorus
Yeah.
right there. That
We're
like,
letting
the
everyone
chorus
know.
starts before
Repeat
the chorus
it.
starts.
This is the part you're supposed to sing.
When the chorus, this is the second time in the second chorus. When it goes to the third one here, this lyric is just, this is the one that hits me. Replace the pieces we left in yesterday.
Yeah, it's when you leave your gun at your friend's house, you got to replace the piece. I mean,
Whoa.
It's a great lyric though, man. That one hits home with me.
Again, man, it's the horns, man, just like adding like the right spots.
this is kind of the cheeriest part of the
Yeah.
song, too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
It
It's like a
fits.
breath of fresh air after it's been dark up until there, and then we come out of it dark though.
jump
Bring it
into the
back around.
halftime.
Oh, there's that halftime.
All of our hands are in the air. And then
I
the
think,
extendo chorus.
It's another song I think we'll be playing a bunch.
Not yet though.
Not yet. This is a next year song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Ringing
is
in
the,
2014.
The how the song wraps up, man. That's coming up, like
And
Choice.
There's a little octave overdub since it was on Fat Records. Had to have octaves on the record. There it is.
Mike made us do it. Not enough octaves on this goddamn record. Do it.
I love that ending.
Yeah, I love that.
man.
Bringing it back to the
That
verse.
little lyric and that riff is what the whole song was based on.
Yep.
Love it.
Good stuff.
Sticking with the key of D, we'll move on to the Troubles.
Ooh, pop punk. It's
Now, this song reminds me of something off the last
this is
the
the
last
Frenzel
EP.
Rom record.
yeah.
The
This is
record.
a little bit B is for B-sidesy, where
Yeah.
it's just kind of like
But I think it's better than those songs. I think it's got a little bit more to it.
This is the one the first 18 times you were singing it, you were trying to sing like Jay Frenzel. So
I
we were calling it
was.
the
I was
Frenzel
singing
Rom
it with an
song.
Australian accent, and it's very appropriate for the song.
We should have flown him in to sing it.
Fly him in. $4,000. Do this.
Again, even that lyric, it just gives you that impression of the whole idea of the record.
Yeah, exactly.
See the light, make through the catastrophes.
When we
You can only go up from the bottom.
chorus lyric, me and Raj, we're in tour Europe. We're outside of the club in Rotterdam,
Where my birthday was.
and I remember sitting there kind of talking about it, and just dude, if you're not a songwriter, or if you are, there's moments when a lyric combines with a melody that you just know, and they're so undeniable, and that they go together, man. And it's just weird, like, alignment that happens. And when that, dude, as a songwriter, and even as a listener of band, when that happens, it feels awesome, man.
Yeah, totally. Because when it's not happening, it's not awesome. And you know it's not yet. You're like, that's good, but it's not there yet. And there's so many times like that when we were writing this record out there, sitting around the table with the acoustics. It was like, that's good, but there could be something better. You know there's something better, but you know when it is the right things. It's like, do the math was like that you were talking about earlier with the chorus. When that
Proper
when that
guitar
chorus
solo.
came out.
Yeah. This is the first proper guitar solo, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, you hear a little phase on there? Guitar nerds? Hear that? Little halftime?
It's not auto-tune on the guitar, I promise you.
No, it's a phaser.
It's a phaser from Star Trek. It's set to stun. You're stunning all
I
of
like
you.
this though, because it came out of the solo, goes into this little part, and then it ends like this, which is cool.
Yeah.
This is
Sounds like Al's War.
well, yeah. It ends on a breakdown. It's cool.
Yeah, if you're gonna rip someone off, you might as well rip yourself off, right?
There's someone that asked that recently, like, what influences the record? It's like, after 21 years, dude, it's kind of yourself, man.
Us.
Get back into a little ska, a la J.R. Wazalewski.
You know what? This song had been
That's what I was gonna say.
working around forever,
This
man.
song's been around for even longer than when we played it for you. It was JR and I had our own side project for a little while where I actually wrote that horn part on the bass. And he was playing guitar, and he had the song then, and we kind of wrote some stuff. We didn't have the chorus for it, but the verse and that horn part.
The thing about this song, for me, it was just kind of like the ska song. And I really didn't think much about it until I would be driving down the road, or get up to take a leak in the middle of the night, and I'd be freaking singing this damn chorus. Once it's in your head, it's so catchy.
This is one of those moments too, like Vinny was just talking about, where you have that magic moment where lyrics fit. Like JR wrote this. Edie and I went out to dinner, and we came back, and he was sitting on the couch, and you would send him the lyrics, and he fit them right into the song, like in half an hour or something. And they fit perfectly.
The song has a good space in it. If there's notes left out when they're supposed to be left out, it could be busier, but like right there, like bass just stops and stuff like that. It's like, yeah,
getting left out.
it's got good space. Sometimes it's not about the notes you play; it's about the notes you don't play.
Yep.
Spoken like J.R. Wazalewski.
Thank you.
That was his.
There's a
band
bridge of this
director.
song coming up, and I thought of every way to cram the kitchen sink in it. I was thinking there's got to be lyrics here, there's got to be this part or that part or guitar part, and we ended up just leaving it with horns, and didn't. At the end of it, we didn't overthink it.
Sometimes you got to have that instrumental moment. Let people digest the lyrics.
Yeah.
The whole record is like singing constantly because that's kind of our thing. So whenever we can get a moment of just music, it's refreshing.
Yeah, this
I
is
like
a good moment to have that.
This is like a positively driven song, like vibe wise. It's got it's kind of.
It's more upbeat than I thought it was going to be originally too. It's peppy. I thought this was going to be a slowed down thing when we were doing it out at the warehouse.
It has a bit of desperation to it. Like you're trying to find
I
this
like it this
thing.
way.
Yeah.
It could have dragged along if it had gotten too slow.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, the whoa-whoas were key in this song for sure. We are a band that likes the whoa-whoa.
Aw, listen to that perfectly in tune Les Paul guitar.
This is the second song that has acoustics on it. You forgot about this one.
Yeah, there is a little bit on some of this too.
Yeah, I think you put this on all the choruses.
Song reminds me of Abandoned Ship a little bit because of that like kind of wacky chord in there.
This song probably had the least amount of time thought about or spent on it till the very end. I mean, it was last week, man.
I championed this one, man.
Yeah, I didn't think the song was going to make the record.
Yeah, it was like it kind of fell together really quickly, and then it was just done, and then we didn't work on it for a long time. It was like, oh, that's good, it's in the done pile kind of thing.
There's a
And
certain.
then you pushed it towards the end.
Sometimes there's a certain simplicity that if it works, just leave it.
When you were playing this originally on the acoustic out there too, I thought I was getting more of a 70s rock vibe from it, and then you demoed it out in here, and I came over to listen to it, and it was like this fast punk drums, and I was like, that's not at all what I was thinking, but it totally works for this. I was like totally hearing like a 70s rock thing going on.
I think this song transcends pop punk or whatever. Like, if you play it acoustic and the song shines, it doesn't matter if there's fast drums behind it. The song just shines regardless, man. And when the bridge that's coming, it is for me,
yeah,
man.
I mean,
it's one of those moments that's bone shaking for me. Like,
Yeah, if you take the drums and the frantic bass out of this song and just listen to the vocal, it's
the vocal.
I hate to say it's a ballad. I mean, and the people that I played this record to that aren't punk rockers or aren't necessarily into this kind of music, they've gravitated towards this tune because that lyric, it's easy to swallow and it's really, really catchy. Living on a Fault Line.
this right here is, man, my favorite part. But it goes right into that breath of fresh air right after
this right here too,
man,
so it
that's
keeps
coming.
building right here.
I love that this song has 2 breakdowns in it.
Yeah.
Here's the first one. I don't know too many songs where we've done 2 breakdowns. That's a little different for us.
In the old days, we would do that.
Yeah.
Like Shindo, there's a guitar
Yeah,
breakdown.
now you're
and a
rocking
bass
again.
breakdown.
Now you're rocking again for about 10 seconds, and then you're back into this.
And then it's like the real breakdown. That was the teaser breakdown earlier.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, like Raj said, I think that there's a beauty in simplicity, and there's also a beauty in being honest with an honest lyric.
We kept talking
There it
about
is.
trying to cram all kinds of other stuff into this chorus, but it doesn't need it. It's really just those lyrics are all you need for this.
I love that there's a certain melancholiness to it, but there's a certain anthematicness as well to it. And
This song could have been on Anthem. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. It's like that kind of vibe of a song.
It could sit easily well amongst a lot of songs on Anthem.
Could have got recorded in Malibu.
It's very dissonant chord for the ending there. It's not our usual move. I like that. Yeah. I'm glad that one made it.
The lengthy sample.
This is probably my favorite song on the whole record.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Get
it is.
outta
Listen to this. This is
here.
amazing right here.
Good morning, students.
Song is good.
This is
This
This
peppy,
is quintessential
peppy
Less
ska
Than Jake
right
too.
here.
It's a quick song too, minute and a half, something like that.
I didn't want this on the record, and I was convinced by everyone else because it was like a moment of like really sort of happy and like positivity, and it like
Yeah, and
sort
it's
of like
short, like
yeah.
it fits. It's not like we gotta shave a song because there's not enough time to fit it on the vinyl.
this right here. The chorus on this is fun. It was great. Horns were the weakest part of the song. And then I
And
thought,
what you meant by that is, you love those horns.
I mean, we're already
that?
halfway through the song right now.
Yeah, totally.
The chorus is what sold me on this song, though. I mean, it's another one on the record that I'd be driving down the road and I would keep, just singing the chorus over and over again. Because all the rest of it's just, it's what we do. Simple, straight up, but it's catchy.
I'm the only one that was there with you at the end, on the end of this song too, when you wanted to go back to that B part. I was like, no, I can see doing that. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Dude, it should end with the chorus. Why were we going back to this other part? But I like it.
Like mixing up the arrangement. Gotta, not be the most predictable arrangement ever. Short song, fun lyrics. It's like Pete Jackson's Getting Married, or that style
agree.
of Less
I
Than
agree.
Jake,
Yeah.
where we're actually just having some fun with the
Straightforward.
music and the lyrics a little bit.
I think it gives it a nice little.
That's where my CD
It's a
ends.
good ending. Yeah.
It's over.
Are
That was
you
quick.
get rid of this song?
No, I don't mean that. I'm just joking about the end tag there.
This is it? This is the last song
It's the
already?
last song.
Yeah, this is already over. We're gonna have to do this
This is
again.
our homage.
This
to,
one has another great, this song's called Weekends All Year Long, which is a cool title. And this is like 3 songs into one.
There's another one where the arrangement was weird at the end. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
we're not gonna ever go back to that chorus again. We're gonna go somewhere else.
Well, that intro horn part only happens there. It never happens again in the song.
Yeah, well, it's like Lion City in that respect too. It comes back to that briefly, and we just go ba-ba-ba-na-na on the turnaround after that first chorus.
That's a Fender Strat through a Crate 120 right there. Good ska sound.
Was that through the crate?
Yep.
another song, man, that like the way that it morphs and how it goes through the cycles of things had been sold. I know that Chris definitely he wasn't the biggest fan of this, but for me, man, like it's the quintessential Less Than Jake ending of a record, man.
I wasn't honest to God, I wasn't on board with this tune until the intro horn came and then the very end thing came. Then I was like, okay, now I get it. It's like, I don't know. There's like 3 different parts going on here. It all works great.
I thought we were going to end up ending the record with a fade out too, like we did the first side, but we ended up actually closing this end part.
Which the end of this song might be not that Less Than Jake and the Heavy are synonymous, but might be the heaviest moment we've ever put on a record. It's pretty ballsy.
Frankie Goes to Hollywood part.
We were calling it the Frankie Goes to Hollywood part.
And
Yeah,
again,
for a while.
Again, the last lyric
See, like
here
right now,
totally
it
sums
could
up
go
the-
anywhere
could-
right
yeah.
now, and we went here, to this like outfield part or something.
Yeah.
Stuck in this groove, nothing left to lose. That whole lyric there, like, it goes back to the title, Weekends All Year Long. Pissing away your life.
And in a really weird way, kind of brings together the lyric thing for the whole record of like, well, after we've said all we've said, we're still doing what we're going to do. We're still stuck in these shoes, and we're going to enjoy it while we can kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's
Great ending right here. There it is.
Thanks for coming.
And if you live in Japan, we will talk over the B-sides
in Japanese.
in Japanese.
Say it in Japanese.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Spotify.
See the light. 11, 12, 13.